Hello everyone. So in this video we will see what does an attacker have in his mind. So to start with, every cyber attacker begins with a human motive. Some hackers chase money, others seek influence, ideology, revenge, or pure chaos. Behind every phishing email, ransomware outbreak, or stealth intrusion is a psychological trigger driving the operator forward. In today's digital battlefield, understanding the hacker mindset is no longer optional. It is one of the most important layers of modern cybersecurity defense. In this investigation, we enter the evolving ecosystem of modern cyber threats, from inexperienced script kiddies to disciplined nation state APT groups. We will uncover how attackers think, how cybercrime economies operate, how enterprises defend themselves, and how artificial intelligence and quantum computing are reshaping the future of digital warfare. Most hackers do not begin as master criminals. Many begin with curiosity. A teenager exploring network vulnerabilities, a frustrated employee experimenting with malware, a politically motivated activist seeking digital influence. Over time, psychology shapes capability. Recognition inside underground forums become addictive. Financial stress pushes some operators toward ransomware and credential theft. Others become ideologically driven and target governments or corporations they perceive as enemies. The internet creates a dangerous psychological environment where anonymity reduces fear and moral restraint. Unlike physical crime, cyber attacks often feel emotionally distant at the attacker. A phishing campaign targeting thousands of employees can be launched from a bedroom with almost no immediate consequences. This disconnect enables escalation. Curiosity becomes experimentation. Experimentation becomes intuition. Intuition becomes organized cybercrime. For defenders, understanding these motivations matters deeply because behavior often relieves what and reveals the intent before malware does. Threat intelligence teams, SOC analysis, and behavioral monitoring platforms increasingly focus on identifying attacker patterns, psychological triggers, and operational habits long before a major breach reaches the exfiltration stage. At the lowest level of cyber threat landscape or script kiddies, these attackers often lack deep technical expertise, yet they remain dangerous because modern offensive tools are widely accessible. Public exploit kits, phishing frameworks, leaked malware builders, and automated vulnerability scanners have lowered the barrier to entry dramatically. A script kiddie may not fully understand privilege escalation or persistent mechanisms, but they can still launch disruptive attacks using copied tools. Their operations are usually noisy. SIEM platforms detect repeated login attempts. EDR systems flag suspicious automation. Network defenders often notice aggressive scanning activity across exposed internet services. Yet, even inexperienced attackers can accidentally cause enormous damage when targeting poorly secured infrastructure. Enterprises frequently underestimate these threats because they assume low sophistication means low impact. In reality, script kiddies often expose forgotten weaknesses before professional attackers arrive. Weak passwords, unpatched VPN appliances, exposed cloud bucket, and outdated web servers become easy entry points. For defenders, this layer of cybercrime highlights an uncomfortable truth. Basic cybersecurity hygiene still stops massive percentage of attacks. Modern cybercrime no longer resembles isolated hackers working alone. Today's ransomware ecosystems operate like multinational corporations. Some groups specialize in malware development, others focus entirely on phishing operations, credential marketplaces, or Cryptocurrency laundering. Ransomware as a service transformed cybercrime into an industrial business model where affiliates purchases access to powerful attack infrastructure. One group handles initial compromise, another deploys ransomware payloads, another negotiates extortion payments with victims. The underground economy now includes customer support channels, profit sharing systems, recruitment forums, and even performance incentives. Financial cybercrime has become operational mature. Attackers exploit enterprise weakness through spear phishing, supply chain compromise, identity theft, and lateral movement inside corporate networks. Once persistence is established, attackers quietly map critical systems before launching encryption or exfiltration campaigns. Double extortion strategies increase pressure by threatening public data leaks. Meanwhile, defenders race against the time using threat hunting, EDR telemetry, segmentation policies, and zero trust architectures to contain breaches before operational shutdown occurs. This is no longer random hacking, it is a organized digital business warfare. Advanced persistent threat groups operate with patience rarely seen in ordinary crime, cybercrime. These actors often serve national intelligence objectives and conduct long term infiltration campaigns targeting governments, defense contractors, telecommunication providers, financial institutions, and critical infrastructure. Their operations prioritize stealth over speed. Initial access may begin through spear phishing or supply chain compromise, but the real danger emerges after persistence is established. APT operators carefully avoid detection by living inside legitimate administrative tools and blending into normal enterprise traffic patterns. They often privilege escalation quietly, move lateral through segmented networks, and collect information over months or even years. Custom malware variants evade traditional signatures while command and control infrastructure rotates constantly to avoid attribution. Defenders face immense pressure because these attacks target the very systems responsible for national stability and economic resilience. SOC teams rely heavily on behavioral analytics, threat intelligence correlation, and anomaly detection to identify subtle indicators of compromise. In many investigations, defenders discover that the attacker was already present deep inside the network long before the first alert appeared. Enterprise cybersecurity changed dramatically once organizations migrated toward cloud infrastructure and hybrid work environments. Traditional network partners collapsed. Identity became the new attack surface. Modern attackers increasingly bypass firewalls entirely by targeting credentials, session tokens, cloud permissions, and third party integrations. A single compromised employee account can provide a direct access into sensitive environments if identity governance is weak. This is why zero trust architecture has become central to modern defense strategy. Instead of trusting users automatically, every access request must be continuously verified. Meanwhile, SOC analysts monitor massive streams of telemetry from endpoints, cloud workloads, SaaS platforms, and network devices. SIEM systems correlate suspicious events while EDR tools identify malicious behavior patterns in real time. Threat hunting teams search proactively for hidden persistence mechanism before attackers can escalate privileges or exfiltrate sensitive data. Cloud environments also introduce new operational risks because attackers exploit misconfigured storage buckets, insecure APIs, and overprivileged service accounts. In modern cybersecurity, defending infrastructure is no longer enough. Organizations must defend identities, behaviors, and trust relationship continuously. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming both offensive and defensive cybersecurity operations. Attackers now use AI to automate phishing campaigns with terrifying precision. Instead of generic spam emails, victims receive personalized messages crafted from public data, corporate leaks, and social media intelligence. Deepfake technology further amplifies social engineering by imitating executive voices during fraudulent financial requests. AI powered malware also evolves dynamically, adapting behavior to bypass static detection systems. Meanwhile, defenders are fighting back using machine learning models trained to identify anomalies across massive enterprise datasets. Modern SIEM platforms leverage AI driven correlation to reduce alert fatigue and accelerate incident response. EDR systems analyze behavioral patterns rather than relying solely on signatures. Threat hunting teams increasingly depend on AI assisted analytics to identify hidden persistence and lateral movement across cloud environments. Yet this creates an escalating technological arms race. As defensive AI improves, offensive AI evolves alongside it. The future cyber battlefield weekly will likely feature autonomous systems attacking and defending digital infrastructure faster than human analysts can react. Quantum computing represents one of the most disruptive future threats facing cybersecurity. Modern encryption protects global banking systems, military communications, healthcare records, and enterprise infrastructure. But sufficiently powerful quantum systems could eventually break widely used cryptographic algorithms far faster than classical computers. This possibility has triggered growing concern over governments and cybersecurity agencies worldwide. Threat actors are already adapting harvest now, decrypt later strategies, stealing encrypted data today in hope that future quantum capabilities will eventually unlock it. For enterprises handling sensitive long term information, this creates a serious strategic problem. Data believed secure today may become vulnerable tomorrow. In response, researchers and governments are accelerating development of quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography standards designed to resist quantum attacks. Migration, however, is extremely complex. Critical infrastructure, industrial systems, cloud providers, and enterprise applications all depend upon deeply integrated encryption frameworks. Defenders must begin preparing long before quantum disruption becomes operational reality because cryptographic transitions across global infrastructure could take years or even decades. The future hacker will likely look very different from today's attacker. Human operators will increasingly work alongside autonomous AI systems capable of scanning networks, identifying vulnerabilities, generating phishing campaigns, and adapting malware behavior automatically. Nation state cyber warfare will intensify as geopolitical conflicts increasingly extend into digital infrastructure. Critical sectors such as energy, finance, transportation, healthcare, and satellite communications may become permanent cyber battleground. At the same time, defenders will depend heavily on automation to survive the scale and speed of future attacks. Cyber resilience will matter more than absolute prevention because some level of compromise will eventually become unavoidable. Organizations capable of rapid detection, containment, recovery, and operational continuity will outperform those relying solely on perimeter defense. The cybersecurity landscape is evolving toward continuous digital conflict where artificial intelligence, cloud ecosystems, and quantum technologies reshape both attack and defense simultaneously. In this future, understanding attacker psychology may become just as important as understanding technical vulnerabilities themselves. The world of cyber threats is far more complex than the stereotype of a lone hacker sitting in darkness. Modern threats actor Actors exist across a massive ecosystem shaped by psychology, economics, geopolitics, and rapidly evolving technology. Some attackers are inexperienced script kiddies relying on automated tools and publicly available exploits. Others operate inside highly organized ransomware syndicates, generating millions through extortion campaigns. At the highest level, nation state APT groups conduct long term intelligence operations designed to influence economies, governments, and critical infrastructure globally. Across every layer, one reality remains consistent. Human motivation drives cyber operations. Financial gain, ideology, recognition, revenge, political influence, and strategic advantage all shape attacker behavior. At the same time, enterprise defenders face unprecedented pressure. Cloud adoption, expanded attack surfaces, identity-based attacks bypass traditional defenses. AI is accelerating both phishing sophistication and defensive analytics simultaneously. Meanwhile, quantum computing threatens the future of encryption itself. Modern cybersecurity, therefore, cannot rely only on firewalls or antivirus tools. Organizations need layered resolutions built upon zero trust architecture, threat hunting, behavioral analytics, SIEM visibility, EDR response capabilities, employee awareness, and adaptive incident response planning. The future battlefield will not be static. Attackers will continue evolving operational methods, leveraging automation, artificial intelligence, and global cybercrime ecosystems. Defenders must evolve faster, understanding the hacker mindset is no longer academic curiosity, it is now critical component of modern enterprise survival. Cyber threats evolve every single day, and understanding the attacker is the first step towards defending against them. Subscribe for deeper investigations into ransomware, APT operations, AI driven cyber warfare, and future of digital security. The next cyber battlefield is already forming. Thank you all. See you in next week's video.